change is, it's something that is always going to happen. So we have to be prepared for that in some ways, and it does keep us on our toes, change, and which is a good thing, because if we were always static, we were always staying like this, first of all, life would be very, very, very boring. And I think we'd become zombies. Honestly, I think the same thing over and over and over again. Like that movie Groundhog Day? And it's the same thing over and over and over again. If it's a constant for a short period of time we can handle. But if it's for a long period of time and years, and there's just no way, I don't think we'd even want to live in that. So it's a good thing that life changes constantly. Everything changes constantly, and we transform and change with it. So this is all a good thing. Anyway, and that's really what we've been practicing too, is how to change with the changes, how to transform ourselves with the changes that are happening in the world that we live in. Okay, so welcome everyone to our practice. Let's sit up nice and tall, root our feet down onto the ground, and just take a moment just to notice the seat that you're in and making sure that you're sitting up nice and tall with really, really good posture. So rooting down with your feet and making sure that your ankles and your knee are in line. And then from there, having the knees extend right into towards your hips. So making sure your feet are not close together, because as you can see, I'm in a V formation now. So we want to make ourselves just a little bit wider, the width of our hips. And then from the hips, moving all the way up to the shoulders. And the shoulders are soft and relaxed. The hands are soft and relaxed. And the head is right between the shoulders. Try not to jut the head out. Trying to bring the head back a little bit more. Okay, maybe even just feel back there, just to make sure that the neck is long and you have no wrinkles back there, and that the back of the shoulders and the upper back is somewhat flat. Okay, and that there's no rounding there, because when we put our head forward, there's going to be a roundness coming from this area. So we want to bring that back, to bring back the chin, so that that area is more flattish. I say flat-ish because it's not going to be totally flat as a board. There's going to be some little bit of movement there towards it. Okay, so just bring your belly in just a little tiny bit, just to feel a little bit of an engagement. We're not sucking it in, so we're holding our breaths or anything. We're just bringing it in, just to feel some engagement in the core area to keep us lifted up. And then wiggle a little bit to settle yourself. Bring your hands onto your thighs, and just a little bit of pressure there, just to feel a little bit more grounded. So the pressure is going to be in the palms of your hands, in your buttocks, and in your feet, to feel that grounding sensation. And then whenever you're ready, you can close the eyes. And then just begin to notice where you are, what's going on around you. What do you hear in the space that you've created? Can you sense? What do you feel? And then draw your intention inwards. And then begin to notice what's going on inside you. So take this opportunity to scan the body. You're going to start externally first, and then going inwards a little bit more. Noticing how you're feeling today. So the inner weather report, as one of my teachers says. How are your muscles? How are your joints? How's your skin? How are some of the organs in your body? And maybe even noticing the relationship between them all. Like how one joint relates to the other joint, maybe one muscle relates to the other muscles, one part of the body relates to the other parts of the body. Just noticing the connections between them. Because no matter what we do, when we do something to one part and we notice one part, it's connected to another part. We might be able to feel sensations in a different area, even though we might not be bringing our awareness fully to that other area. You can take some time scanning the body. Just being aware of where places you might feel tight, or there's some tension, or there's some pain or discomfort. Just noticing all that you can notice. And if there is pain or discomfort, just be curious about that and notice. And if you can change where the pain is, and maybe you just need to settle down a little bit or change your position a little bit and to correct that pain. And sometimes there's pain and there's really not too much you can do about that. So sometimes just bringing your breath towards a sense of pain and trying to soften might help. So once you've gone through the body, from top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes, then just become a little bit more aware of the thoughts that are moving through your head. Notice what they're doing. And sometimes when we're looking at those thoughts, sometimes when we're those thoughts and sensations kind of get confused. They kind of get mixed up. So when you have a thought moving through your head, it's just a thought. And you can think that something is sore, or you can think something doesn't feel right, or you can think something. That doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Remember, the mind likes to play games. We feed it whatever external stuff comes in, and we just put stuff in there. In fact, it's like we have an open door policy, and we just invite things in there, and we really shouldn't, but we do. So you should be very, very selective on what you allow in your mind. You know, it's easier said than done, but just notice that those thoughts, those are not sensations. So a thought is not really real. A thought is just something that you're thinking, and you can allow that to pass on by. You don't have to allow it to go any deeper. Whereas a sensation, this is truth. This is what you are feeling deep inside your body. And that is something that we can work on. So when we have thoughts about maybe some feelings, or maybe even emotions, or things that we might find are not really true, like someone told us something that you're not good enough, that is just a thought. So something like that, we can just pass on by. It can come in and it can go right back out again. Okay? Where the truth is in our sensations. So as we're noticing our thoughts, just notice the thoughts and let them pass by. Try not to internalize them. Try not to let them come in and settle and pretend that they're really sensations, which they're not. Okay? There's a big, huge distinction there. And sometimes it's kind of tricky. Is it a thought or is it a sensation? Okay, so once you've noticed those thoughts, then begin to maybe notice some emotions. Now, emotions are real. When you feel something, like happy or joy or sad or scared, terrified, frustrated, impatient. Those are all emotions, and those are real. Those are real, and you're very, very able to feel those. Sometimes we'll feel them very much in a sensation form, like in the gut, in our gut, we'll feel those, or maybe in our hearts. So those are very much sensations. So notice those emotions, how you're feeling today. And then notice the way that you're breathing. What's your breath doing at this moment? For some of you, you might have been holding your breath while I spoke. It happens, especially when you're bringing attention to something. Sometimes we tend to hold the breath. See if with every breath, if we can go a little bit deeper. So taking big inhales, slow, and some big exhales. So moving that breath all the way down towards the belly. So the breath really doesn't breathe in the belly. It's just the diaphragm is pressing down, expanding the lungs. Okay, so for our next 3 breaths, we're going to inhale through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. So inhale through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. One last time, inhale through the nose and sigh it out. And just notice how that felt. Now you might have realized that your breath was totally different from mine, and that's totally fine because we're totally different people. So our breaths are going to be different. Okay, so just keeping that nice big inhale and exhale. Keep on deepening it. We're just going to start just to move our heads. So inhale, lift up. And exhale, bring the chin down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, bring the chin down. The last time, inhale, lift up. Let's hold it here and keep breathing. See if you can grow a little bit taller. So root down through your feet, through your seat, and just lift up the chin. And just take a moment just to bring one hand to your throat and just smooth down and then smooth up. And then take your hand and move it towards the back. So see if with the chin lifted, if you can smooth up and just try to get rid of some of those wrinkles that might be present at the back of your neck. Okay, one more breath. And on your exhale, bring your hand down and bring your chin down this time. I'm going to hold it here. Soften through the shoulders. So breathing in and out, and then take your hand again and just notice the front of you. So just kind of smoothing up and smoothing down. You might notice some wrinkles there. That's okay. And then bring your hand to the back of your neck and smooth it there. Smoothing up and smoothing down. And just notice what you feel there. And then bring the hand back and bring the head back to center. Okay, so now we're going to bring the hands out. So inhale, bring the arms out in front of you and open. Little chest thrust here, so opening up through the heart. And then exhale, round out and bring the arms together. Okay, inhale, open, lifting up the chin, open up the heart, open up the lungs. And then exhale, rounding out, pushing back, chin towards the chest, hands in front. Do that 2 more times. Exhale. And one last time. Exhale. Good. And then sit up tall. Bring your hands down onto your thighs and just notice. There's lots to notice here. So just be aware of all the activity that you just did. And we might have just done very, very simple things, but there's a lot going on here. See if you can notice it all. It's almost like those little puzzles, you know. See if you can find 5 things that are different from this picture to this picture. Same thing here. What do you notice that might be a little bit more evident at this moment? Okay, inhale the arms all the way up. Reach up, look up, and then exhale, bring the arms all the way down and look down. I'm gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. Reach up, grow a little taller, exhale all the way back down. And 1 more time, lift up. And exhale all the way back down. Okay, this time we're gonna do it. We're gonna forward fold. So inhale, lift up. And then open up the arms and forward fold. So bring the belly towards your thighs, reach towards your toes, and then bring yourself all the way back up again. And then exhale, bring the arms down and forward fold. And back up again. Big breath in, exhale all the way down, taking your time here. You don't have to go fast. Move with your breath, and then inhale, lift all the way up. And then bring your hands towards your heart, and then down on your thighs again, and just take a moment here, and again, notice. Noticing all those changes, noticing what you're thinking to those thoughts, and noticing that they are not really real most of the time. The truth is in your sensations and in your emotions. Okay, inhale the arms all the way back up again. Reach up. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift back up. This time your right knee is going to come up. Lift it up. And then exhale, place it back down as you forward fold. Inhale, lift up. This time the left knee is going to come up. And then exhale, forward fold. Bring the foot down. I'm going to keep alternating like that. Inhale, lift up, right knee comes up. Try to sit up tall. Exhale all the way back down. Inhale, lift up, left knee up. And exhale all the way back down. 1 more time on each side. Inhale, lift up, right knee lifts up. Doesn't have to be very high. All the way back down. And last time, inhale, lift up, left knee comes up, and all the way back down. And then inhale, come up, both feet stay on the ground, and bring your hands towards your heart, and then down on your thighs. And again, take a moment here just to notice. So notice those sensations, notice your emotions. And you can pay some attention to those thoughts, not a lot though. Allow those thoughts just to move in and out of the body, in and out of your mind. You can give them this like a split second of a notice and an awareness, and then let them move right past. Okay, let's add on to that. Inhale the arms all the way up. Reach up, and then exhale, forward bend. Inhale, come up, right knee comes up. And then exhale, bring it down, arms come down, forward bend. Inhale, lift up, left knee up. Exhale all the way down. And this time as we come up, we're gonna see if we can lift up both knees. If you can't, just lift up your heels. So you might be able to lift up, or just lift up your heels and bring the feet back down and forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way back up. And then exhale, hands towards your heart and down by your thighs. And just take a moment here. Notice. So we're going to do that again. So both feet can come up. If that doesn't work for you, just lift up your heels. And that's great. Okay, so you just do what you can. and have fun with it and play and don't fall off your chair. Okay? Okay, let's start again. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lift up, right knee comes up. And exhale all the way back down. Inhale, left knee comes up. All the way back down, forward bend. Inhale, come up. Either the heels come up or both legs come up. And bring them down, forward bend. Inhale, lift all the way up. This time we're going to do a side bend, so our arms are up, our right hand comes down towards the side of the chair, and we're going to do side bend over. Inhale to lift up, and over towards the other side. Inhale to lift up, and again over towards the right. Inhale, lift up, over towards the left. Inhale, lift up one more time, over towards the right. Inhale, lift up, over towards the left. Then inhale up and forward bend. And come all the way back up. Reach up a little taller. And then exhale, hands towards your heart or down. And then down by onto your thighs. And again, take a moment here to notice. Notice your breath. Where is it? Notice the type of thoughts that are moving through your head. Take notice of them and let them pass by. Notice your emotions. Notice all the sensations that are moving through your body. They're probably still moving. Probably still moving. Okay, let's add on to this. Inhale the arms all the way up. Reach up, look up, exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lift up, right knee comes up. Exhale, all the way down, forward bend. Inhale, lift up, left knee comes up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, all the way back up. Let's just bring our heels up this time. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lift up. Side bend towards the right side. Inhale, lift up. We're going to do a forward bend this time. All the way back up. And side bend towards the left. Inhale, lift up. And forward bend. Come all the way back up. Arms are up. We're going to do a twist. So the arms are going to go out into a T and twist towards the right. Inhale, lift up. And twist towards the left. Just go in as far as you can. Don't force it. Inhale, lift up. Over towards the right. Inhale, lift up. And over towards the left. And do this one more time each. Inhale, lift up. Over towards the right. Inhale, lift up. Over towards the left. And then inhale, lift up. And forward bend. And bring yourself all the way back up. Look up at those hands. Bring your hands towards your heart. And then down on your thighs. And again, take a moment. Sometimes it's helpful to close your eyes. And again, noticing your breath. How was your breath through that whole sequence? Were you able to breathe through it, or did you have to pause a couple of times? Was it too fast? Was it too slow? How was your breath through all of that? Noticing the different sensations that were moving through your body and still are. The types of emotions. And the emotions are just going to keep on moving. At certain places, you might feel frustrated, you might feel joyful that you're moving, you might feel happy that it feels good, you might feel sad that you feel a little bit of pain or something else. So just be aware of all these things. Okay, so let's do it again. Inhale the arms all the way up, reach up. Grow a little taller, look up at those hands, and then exhale, float yourself all the way down, reaching down towards your toes, and then come all the way back up. Right knee lifts up. Let's hold it here for a moment. Doesn't have to be very high. It can be just like an inch off the ground, so the right knee is lifted. And you can look up a little bit. Try not to tilt the head too far back. Hold it here. And notice all that's happening. Notice the different sensations. You might starting to feel some fatigue, different things are cropping up. Let's hold it for one more breath if you can. You don't have to force it. And then exhale, float yourself all the way down. And I say float because we're floating. We're not smacking ourselves down onto the ground. Inhale, lift up the other side. Now, arms come up, look up, and the left knee comes up. And we're going to hold it for a few breaths. And just notice. Maybe you need to adjust your leg. Maybe you need to bring it down a little bit more. Maybe you need to bring it up a little bit more. Maybe you need to touch your toe on the ground. Notice it here. Soften through your shoulders. One more breath. And exhale. Float yourself all the way back down again. Inhale. Lift all the way back up. And let's lift the heels up. Unless you want to balance with your feet up, go for it if you feel like you want to do that. Or you can just push into the toes, lifting up the heel, noticing what's happening here. Breathing. Noticing all the tension that's happening in the body. And this is a good thing. It's okay to have some tension as long as we're able to release it. One more breath. And then exhale, bring the heels down and float yourself all the way back down. Okay, inhale, lift yourself all the way back up again. Reach, grow a little taller, and side bend over towards the right side, and we're going to hold it here. So don't go too far. If your arm's getting tired, maybe just rest it on your head or your shoulder. Doesn't have to be very high. A hand can come here. That's okay. Up to you. Adjust it so it works for you. And just hold it here. So try not to collapse into it. You want to sit up nice and tall and feel a nice stretch through that left side of the body. One more breath here, notice. And then inhale, come all the way up and float yourself all the way back down again. Come all the way back up again. And we'll move into a side bend over onto the left side. So the left hand comes down. And just hold it here, making sure your both buttock cheeks are sitting on the ground, on the chair. We're not falling over, keeping the chest open, soften through the shoulder. And again, that hand can rest on your head. Just feel an opening in the chest and feel a nice stretch through that right side of the body. Okay, on your next breath, inhale, reach up again. And exhale, float all the way back down. Bring yourself all the way back up again as you inhale. And we're going to do a twist with arms in our T. So twist, I'm going to hold it here. So reaching those fingers out. If the arms have to come down a little bit, that's okay. And the main thing is the twist. So even if you have to put your hands on your waist, that's okay. We're moving right through the middle of our body. Okay, so through our thoracic spine. Okay, relax through the shoulders, hold it here. Notice. Still feeling that connection with our feet and through our buttocks. On the next inhale, we're going to turn back to front, lift up the arms, and float down again to a forward bend. And then bring ourselves back up again, reaching up, and we'll twist over towards the other side. Twist. And again, notice maybe you can't twist this as far as the other towards the right, so the left might be a little bit tighter. Just relax the shoulders. Try to sit up tall. Root down through your feet. The arms don't have to be here. They can be all around your waist or just down. And just still bring yourself into a twist through the middle of part of your torso. Don't force it. Okay, on your next breath, come back to center, bring the arms all the way up. And one more forward fold. And come all the way back up. Reach up as tall as we can. And bring the hands towards your heart center. And down on your thighs. And just close the eyes again for a couple moments just to notice. How was your breath? What kind of changes did you notice your body going through? What kind of thoughts were moving? Remember, they were just thoughts. That doesn't necessarily mean they were truth. What kind of emotions were coming up? What kind of sensations came up and still are coming up? Notice as much as you can. Okay, and then open up the eyes. Okay, well, let's move our feet just a little bit away from each other, not too much. Okay, we're going to start to do some circles. Okay, so just have your hands on the front of your thighs, and we're just going to do little circles in the body. Okay, so we're going to try to keep the body as upright as we're lengthening through the spine. So we're not rounding out here. We're keeping upright and we're moving. So we can move forwards, but the body is still lengthening through the spine, okay? So move in your own pace. The circles can be as big or small as you like. And pay attention to all the sensations that are coming out of this. Maybe what you're feeling in your sit bones or your buttocks. Maybe even in your feet and in your hands. Definitely in your shoulders and your spine. What's going on with your breath? So much to be curious and explore here. For example, I just noticed that I was tensing up my toes as I was doing this. Just had to relax my toes a little bit more. I also have the tendency of gritting my teeth or biting my tongue, so I have to be really, really aware and careful about that. You might have something similar. Okay, let's go in the opposite direction. Noticing how in the opposite direction it's going to feel totally different. Also, try to keep your head in line because your spine goes right through your neck, right into the base of your skull. So try to keep your head in line with the spine. It's not easy because the head wants to move around. So see if you can keep it in line. And then again, going slow. Noticing as much as you possibly can. I'll go a couple more times around. Try not to collapse, try to keep your clavicle open and your upper back open. And then bring yourself back to center. Just take a moment here and just notice. Hopefully no one's dizzy. Hopefully not. We should have been going slow enough. Okay, and then walk your feet back. And again, just notice here. Noticing your breath, noticing the sensations that are coming out of here. You might feel maybe some tingly happening or something else. Okay, and then just wiggle around, wiggle, 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 wiggle. And then wiggle the shoulders. You just look over your shoulder, one direction and the other direction. Okay. And then we're going to push our feet firmly into the ground, place our hands on our thighs, and push ourselves up. Okay? Just hope not all the way up. And we're going to sit back down into our seat. And do that a couple of times, just putting the weight into the feet. So our body's going to be like this. We're still kind of having a nice lengthening through the back, and then sit again back into your seat. Okay, and again, push, find your balance, and then sit back down. If you need to hold on, okay? We don't want to push so much that we project ourselves into the middle of your rooms. We want to have control. So push into the feet and lift yourself up. Use your core, and then bring yourself back down again. One more time, lift up, and then bring yourself back down. Okay, so I lied with putting ourselves back up again. And then we're gonna straighten up. Okay, so face your chair. And we're gonna come into a downward dog. So bend into your knees, feet are about hip width apart, grab onto the seat of your chair. Okay, and then begin to adjust your hands and begin to walk your feet back. So you can bend into your knees as much as far back as you need to. Bend into the knees as much as you need to, walk your feet back as much as you need to, and then push your hips back, lengthen through your arms. Your head should be right between your arms, and just play around with the position. Notice how it feels when your feet are a little bit closer and your elbows are bent. That might feel good. And then maybe walk your feet back a little bit more and just notice how that feels with your arms a little bit straighter. Just making sure that you feel very, very connected to the ground. You feel grounded, you feel stable. That is number one. And you're breathing and you feel good, somewhat. You feel a nice stretch happening through the arms, your armpits, sides of the body, your back, through the hamstrings. Even though your knees are bent a little tiny bit, you can feel something happening there through the buttocks. This pose is a lot of everything. And just take a few moments just to breathe here. And don't feel bad if you need to come out of it sooner than we're going to come out of it. It's entirely up to you. This is your practice. Just noticing the changes that are happening. And then we're going to walk the feet just a little bit closer. Bend into the knees a little bit more. Elbows are bent, and we're going to open up into a cow. Okay, you see I have a little bit of a dip in my back, so opening up into a cow. And then we're going to exhale, round out to a cat, and maybe bring the hips back a little bit further. Inhale, come back into your cow. And then exhale, round out into a cat. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, cow. You can have the knees really bent, open up through your chest, through your collarbone, and then exhale, cat. And last one, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Yeah. And then come back into a downward dog. So walk the feet a little bit further back, and then stretch yourself out. You can play around with straightening one knee, maybe the other knee, very, very gently, just noticing what's happening in your body. Now your mind might be telling you something else. Those thoughts that are coming in might be going blah, 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 blah. So acknowledge them and let them pass. Okay, pay attention more into your sensations and your emotions. Let's take one more breath here. And then slowly walk your feet again towards your chair. Okay, bend into the knees. And then you can bring your hands onto your thighs if you like, or use the chair, and then bring yourself all the way up to stand. We're going to stand up into Tadasana. So root down through your feet and just feel a nice, strong mountain pose here. So think about stacking all your bones on top of each other. So rooting down through all 4 points in your feet, through your toes, through the ball of your feet, inside edge, outside edge, and your heel. And then you've got your ankle, and your knees are right over top of your ankle, hips over top of that. Shoulders right in line with the hips, and your head plunked right in between your shoulders. So shoulders are soft, reaching your arms down, spread out your fingers. So you're rooting down, and then at the same time, you're lifting up through the crown of your head. So it's like you're being stretched, growing as tall as you can, creating roots of stability. Breathing here, noticing. Even if all you did was just this one pose every single solitary day, this is a very, very good pose. Very, very strong pose that gets every single muscle in your body active. And having really, really good posture is very, very good for your bones, for your balance, and also really, really good for your brain. Your brain is very active here, trying to keep you lifted and stable and balanced. Let's take one more breath here. And then relax, and we're going to sit back down again. So we're going to be doing our breathing exercises now, and then I'm going to invite you all to go into Savasana, but on the ground. Because I think it's really important that everybody knows how to get down onto the ground safely and get back up off the ground. So we're going to do that at the end of practice today. Okay. Okay, so sit up nice and tall again. Root down through your feet. So pull a little bit in through the belly. Just keep yourself stable. And then again, check in with yourself. So just close down the eyes and just do another little check-in. Doesn't have to take very long. Just check in with your body, with your breath, with your thoughts, with your emotions. And just bring yourself to a center place. And then once you've done your little check-in, then bring your full awareness towards your breath. Just noticing what your breath is doing. And allowing it to become longer and deeper again, without forcing it. And we're going to do something that's called a boxed breath. So when you think of a box, and you think about that, if anyone knows how to dance here, the box step, kind of the same kind of thing. But what we're going to be doing is using our breath. So we're going to be doing it for a count of approximately 4. You probably should be able to do that. If not, then adjust it so that you can. So we're going to inhale. We're going to pause. Then we're going to exhale. And we're going to pause. So that makes a box, okay? So the inhale for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then hold the breath, just pause for a count of 4 if you can. If you can't, then just do what you can do for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then pause. So allow no air to come in for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're back in the beginning, okay? So we'll play around with this just to notice how it is. Don't feel bad if it's not working and you need to adjust it. That's perfectly fine. We're being curious and exploring on what we can do. And as you become a little bit more familiar with this, played around with this a little bit. I haven't called it this before. You'll be able to get a little bit easier. And the one reason why we're doing this is when we breathe in for a certain amount of time, we allow the oxygen to saturate our lungs. When we hold it, the oxygen gets a little bit of more time to saturate. Then as we exhale it out, all of the air comes out of the lungs, or as much as we possibly can, and then we hold it out there. And when it holds out there, it allows the capillaries to open up just a little bit more so that when we breathe in, a lot more oxygen can come into the body, okay? So we're gonna try this out. So your eyes can be open or closed. We're going to take just a couple of breaths, nice and easy. And then when you're ready, breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold all the air out. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Try to see if you can do it on your own. Adjusting the counts as necessary. Try to keep upright as much as you can. Soften through your shoulders, soften through your face. Let's try doing that 2 more times. Okay, and then just relax your breathing and just notice, just easy breathing now, and notice where you struggled. There is going to be some struggle at certain points. Even for me, sometimes holding that breath out, sometimes it is a struggle because you want to breathe in and you're trying not to. So just notice for you where you felt that there was a struggle. Maybe it was the count, maybe it was on the inhale, maybe it was somewhere else. Maybe it was just trying to hold your body as upright as you possibly could, or trying not to allow the thoughts to totally take over and not trying to believe what the thoughts were telling you. That's always tricky as well too, because sometimes the thoughts that come into our head are so strong and adamant that we believe them that sometimes it's hard to say, no, I'm not going to believe in you. You're just thoughts. You're not real. Okay, let's try that 2 more times now, okay, and see how we do this time. So let's take a nice big breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. And then begin to breathe in for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 4. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And again, just notice where tension or anything else cropped up. Notice how you're feeling. Okay, and then just before we get into our Savasana, we're going to do Brahmari, which is hummingbird's breath or humming bee breath. So we're just going to take a breath in through the nose and hum it out. Okay, and that hum can be as long as you feel comfortable doing. Okay, so big breath in through the nose and hum it out. Let's do that a couple more times. Easy breathing now. As you notice, we didn't do it how we normally do it with covering of the eyes and the ears. So I just wanted you to hear it for yourself first. The external sound. Now we're going to hear it internally. So this time we can cover up the ears and the eyes. And there's a way of doing it where you just bring your thumbs to your ears, and then the 2 fingers, your pointer finger and your tall finger, cover up your eyes, gently pressing on the eyes, very, very gently. And then the other fingers, your ring finger and your pinky finger, are just to frame your mouth, okay? And so sitting up tall, rooting down through your feet and your seat, and then you're just going to press on your ears, and then you're going to breathe in and hum it out so you can hear it internally. So we're going to do that. Let's do that 5 times, okay? Just on your own. So plug your ears and go for it. When you're done, just bring your hands down and feel the vibrations moving through your body. And noticing how you're feeling. Anything else that comes up, any emotions, any feelings. Okay, and then when you feel ready, gently blink open your eyes. And we're going to lie down onto your mat. So getting up off the chair. You're lying down wherever you're feeling comfortable. So just getting down in a way that suits you. So using the chair if you need to, or wall or whatever, or just spiraling yourself down, getting down and then onto your back. And making yourself comfortable. So if you need anything to put underneath your back, underneath your head, making sure your head isn't lifted too much. You want to make sure still that your head, your neck are in line with your spine. Your knees can be bent if you like. You can rest your hands on your belly, or maybe one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, or just down by your side with your palms up. Your knees can be bent with your knees touching and your feet a little bit further apart. That sometimes feels really good on your back. Or you can just extend your legs out. Up to you what you'd like to do. And then just allow yourself to settle. Just wiggle around until you feel comfortable. I like to sometimes grab hold of my shoulder blades a little bit and just pull them out so I feel a nice opening through my back. And then bring my arms down. And then just allow yourself to settle. Close your eyes. Feel totally supported on the ground. Making sure that you don't feel any pain. If you do, just adjust yourself so that you feel a little bit more settled and comfortable. So Savasana is one of those poses that sometimes feels strange, especially if you're not on your bed. Lying on the ground is actually very, very beneficial to you. It helps with your bones, it helps with your body, it helps with the spine. And in Savasana, all you need to do is to relax and breathe. Focus just on the breath, moving peacefully in and out through the body. And trying to keep the mind active by just watching your breath. It's more of being than doing. We're going to take a couple more breaths here. If you feel like you want to stay here for a lot longer, you definitely can do that. When you're ready to come out, just allow the breath to deepen. Then bring awareness back in towards your body and begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Maybe the arms and the legs, and maybe the head gently rolling from side to side. And then you can give yourself a little stretch, maybe bringing your arms above your head and stretching out your legs, pointing your toes, feeling a nice full body stretch. And then bring your arms down, bend into your knees, and roll over onto one side, supporting your head with your arm. So coming into a fetal position. So my right arm is curved and it's supporting my head, and my left hand is right beside my chest. And then with that left hand, I'm just going to push myself up over onto my right elbow, up onto my side of my knees, and coming up into a seat. I'm just sitting however you like to sit. You want to sit back in your chair, you can do that, or you can just sit on the ground, and we will finish our practice. I'll just make sure I can see everybody, that everybody survived that. Oh, good. Okay. You guys are going to stay on the ground, and that's perfectly fine. Okay. We're going to bring our hands towards our hearts. Let's close your eyes again and just do a little reflection here of your practice. Just noticing anything that came up that you got maybe a little bit more curious about today, or you felt something new, or your breath was different, maybe just all the changes that happened within your body, maybe with your breath, and anything else that happened to pop up. And then bow your head and give yourself gratitude for your practice. And then sending out that gratitude towards anything or anyone that you wish to be grateful for in your life. And we'll finish our practice today singing one Om together. So take a breath in through the nose, sigh it out, and breathe in for one Om. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Everyone have a great day. Hopefully you feel great today and you get out and enjoy that beautiful sunshine up.